Hey everyone, alright, so this is my 10-month on testosterone video. I'm actually making it on the day. I usually am late to make it, but today is actually 10 months on testosterone. So I have a couple changes to talk about, but I'm going to actually talk about some other stuff today. So first off, I have to shave a lot more now. I think in my last video, or possibly the one before, I said I have to shave about every week. It's changed now to every like 3 days down here. Everywhere else I could definitely go a little bit longer, but down here is where it's thickest, and so it's about every 3 days, which I just shaved this morning. So there's that. Let's see. Oh, also my Adam's apple is growing. I don't know. I can't really see what you guys can see, but um, I have a bump there, which is cool. Um, I can't exactly see it because every time I turn I miss it, but um, I'm pretty sure it's growing just by how I can feel it. But what I actually want to talk about today is I went through a lot of changes actually last week as far as legally changing my name and my gender over. And I'm in California, so what I'm about to tell you only works for California. I'm not sure how other states work, but here we go. So first off, you have to do all the paperwork with the courts. There's it's like the N220 and the N. They're the most ridiculous names, but luckily I didn't really have to do much. Nicole, my girlfriend, really helped me out with filling out those forms because I'm not so good at forms. But anyway, she filled all of them out for me. And then my dog is crying to go outside. And then once you do that, you take it to the court and you have the paperwork filed. So they make sure you have everything. You have to have all their paperwork, and you also have to have a note from your doctor approving these things. So I had both those. We filed it. From there, you have to run your name and gender change in a newspaper within the same county that you're filing all the paperwork. So I did that, and it cost me $135 to run for 4 weeks in a newspaper. And they give you a list of what is considered like an acceptable newspaper, because some people would do like small little local ones that were like really cheap, and that apparently doesn't cut it. So definitely make sure you do it in the right newspapers. But the court would know. So there's that. Then let's see, after that, oh, that same day when you go to file them, you also set your court date as long as all your paperwork is there. And the only requirement is that the newspaper stuff is finished by the time your court date hits. So I set mine quite some time ago, and my court date was October 9th, which has already passed. And so I ran it in the paper. Then the next thing was showing up to court. So showed up on time, and I was nervous because there's more than just you in the courtroom. There's other people with small civil cases. But I got so lucky. The people that were before me, their court case, they didn't show up. So they weren't there, and the people that were after me also didn't show up until after we left. So it was just me, the judge, the deputy, and Nicole in the courtroom. And stood up before him, and I thought maybe he was going to ask me questions like, is this true? And I would say like, yes, or something. He literally just said, your paperwork was very organized, and signed it. So thanks to my girlfriend, because she literally did have it all perfect. So from there, you have to go and file what the judge signed. So I filed it in the same place that I filed the original paperwork. They gave me 3 certified copies, and from there, we went straight to Social Security. So Social Security, I want to make sure I tell you guys the right thing. Social Security requires 2 things. They require the note, or the official document from the court, an original, and they also require a signed letter from your doctor, which I already had because I needed that to file the paperwork in the first place. So I didn't have to go get another letter from my doctor. So they did that, and so now Social Security is updated with both my new name and my gender, male. So from there, we went to DMV, Department of Motor Vehicles, and they required the original court letter, like everyone does. They have a special DMV document for changing your gender over. I'd already actually done that part before court, so I didn't have to do that. But if you guys are doing it all at once, there is a separate doctor's note from the DMV that you have to get. So look out for that. And of course, I had to bring my current state driver's license, which then they punched a hole in, and now I have a paper one until I get the new one in the mail. Let's see, from there I went to the bank. That wasn't as hard. They did need to see the court official document. They didn't keep it or anything. They just needed to look at it to make sure it was true. And they did need to see my license, which then I had to show them two. I had the one with the hole punch in it, that was my photo ID, and then the paper one that's just a temporary. So I changed that over. From there we went to the post office. That was the most expensive part, because all this stuff, there were little transactions like $25 or, to change this and that. But the post office, to get a new passport, cost me almost $200. So you have to bring your current passport, which is like an old photo of me, and wrong name, wrong gender, everything is terrible on that thing. So you have to bring that. You also have to bring, your court document, but then you also have to bring your birth certificate. So I don't know. Nicole had called ahead and they said that we needed our birth certificate. And then when we were there, she was like, I don't know if you really need it, but we're just going to include it just because you're changing so much. So I would suggest bringing it just so there's no issues. But they took my passport and they took my birth certificate and they sent it off, and they also took a new photo of me. And they also sent off in one of the originals of my, because I said they gave me 3 certified copies of the court document. They sent all of that off. They sent one of those, not all 3. And apparently it'll take 4 to 8 weeks, and I'll get all of it back in the mail. I'll get all the stuff I gave to them on top of my new passport with my new photo, my new name, and gender. So right now I'm just sort of in limbo because I had, like, my photo ID has a hole punched in it. I don't have, I don't have updated credit cards because I'm waiting for those to come in the mail with my new name on it. I don't have a birth certificate. I don't have a passport. So, but I mean, they should all be in within, like, other than my passport, everything should be in this week. So, and it's all on the way, so it doesn't really matter. I'm just in limbo for a couple more days. But it felt kind of weird to send off my birth certificate, but whatever. So the only thing is, I was not born in California. So if I was, I could also have a new birth certificate. However, I was born in Michigan. So now Michigan laws are a little different, and I actually have to have surgery before Michigan courts will grant me a new birth certificate. The good thing is, because I've already appeared in court in California, I've already done this whole process. Once I have surgery, I don't need to appear in court. All I have to do is send in the paperwork that I've already done on top of a doctor's note that says I've had surgery. So I have to, and we also had to get a document from Michigan, and they mailed it to us. We have all that stuff already. I just need to have surgery. So the good thing is, as soon as we finished with the post office, we then went to my doctor consultation. And it went really well, and I was just more or less assuming that I would have to wait a couple months before I could have surgery. My dog's freaking out. But they were like, oh, we usually book about 2 to 3 weeks out, and I was like, oh my goodness, okay. So I have my surgery in less than a month. It's booked. I am so excited, and then once I have surgery, they'll of course sign that I had surgery, and I just have to send that paperwork in, and I'll get a new birth certificate, stating male and my new name and all that stuff. And the reason the birth certificate is important to me, some people don't even bother with it, because when do you have to show your birth certificate? Like if you need another form of ID, then you have Social Security, you have your passport, But different states have different laws. In Michigan, if you want to get married, you have to show your photo ID and you have to show your birth certificate. But different states, some of them, they don't require that. Michigan, they do. And if I wanted to get married in Michigan, which is a possibility, it would not be an option for me unless I changed over my birth certificate. So a lot of changes. It's all official though, all legal. It feels amazing. So this month was definitely a big month for me, more on the legal side than the physical changes side and stuff. But things are still cooking along, and thank you for watching, and I will update next month. And if you have questions about changing legally in that whole process, just I don't really know about other states other than California, so just keep that in mind if you have questions. But love to hear from you. Okay, bye.